Good Monday morning. Hope you all had a good weekend. Welcome to my garage and my show. I'm going to start this week right off good. Excellent. This is called Firstborn from the Dead. The Secret of Christ. Creation alone cannot reveal the heart of God. It must be supplemented by reconciliation. He who is the image of God must become his complement. The firstborn of creation must become the firstborn from among the dead. As such, our relation to him is nearer and dearer. We are not only subjects in a spiritual kingdom, but we also belong to a spiritual body, of which he is the head. God's grace and love must be revealed against the dark background of human hate. The head of the body is the sovereign in whom all rule had its origin, and into whose kingdom we have been transported. Our relation to him as saints is not based on his power in creation, but on his victory over death. He is the first to emerge a conqueror from its dark shades. And thus he heads a new creation, a new race of mankind, which is not only given life, but immortality and incorruptibility beyond the reach of death. This death-defying vitality will be granted to all in Adam in due course, but at present he alone possesses it. This gives him the exalted dignity of firstborn from among the dead. Some of his high honor he will share with us at his presence. For then his saints will be vivified, while the balance of mankind must wait until the consummation. Universal dignities. The supremacy of God's Son depends on the universality or totality of his many dignities. How extraordinary is the emphasis laid on this vital fact in this short passage. Within the compass of 5 verses, we read no less than 8 times that the given glory is all-inclusive. He is the firstborn of every creature. All is created in him, and all is created through him and for him. He is before all. All has its cohesion in him. In all, he is becoming first. The entire complement delights to dwell. He reconciles all through the blood of his cross. Colossians chapter 1, verses 15 through 20. And on 2 occasions, this is amplified and defined as all that is in the heavens or on the earth. It is said to include both visible and invisible. What more could be said to impress us with the universal scope of the Son's activities? That in all, he may be becoming first. These precious words are the chief ornament of the room in which I write. They are now in large blue letters in a golden frame. Long years ago, I chose them as my motto and decided to display them in a prominent place in my abode. When erecting a new house, I evolved a plan so that they would become a permanent part of the building. Above the broad entrance into the drawing room was a board with a beautiful grain. On this, I outlined these words in Old English lettering and varnished them before the wood was stained, so that they stood out plainly when all was done. But alas, when the home was sold, almost the first act of the new owner was to remove all traces of my cherished motto. Here we have a gem of the purest ray serene, fit for the diadem of universal majesty. He was first in time, and he must become first in all else. How many of mankind have striven for supremacy? Some have drenched the ground with the blood in order to attain the highest place for themselves among the rulers of earth. Many more in other walks of life have sought to reach the top, above their less fortunate fellows. These all exalted themselves, finding a futile and fleeting eminence. How marvelous the contrast! He who had never sought his own advancement, but only God's glory, who abased himself beneath all, he will become first in all. Let us be very jealous for his glory and allow no one else to filch it from him. Let us be very zealous for his supremacy, and accord it to no other name but his. And let us guard each glory as we would a treasured trove. And since his crowning glories as complement of the deity and reconciler of all are so often denied to him, let us make these the special theme of our meditation. And if need be, let us maintain them and defend them to the last. In him, the firstborn from the dead, through his blood and his cross. Through the blood of his cross, God is completely equipped to consummate the purpose of love and bring every enemy back to his bosom, not only saved, but reconciled. The entire complement delights to dwell. I love you all. Have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.